So I faced my biggest fear years ago. Years ago, I faced my biggest fear, and I want to tell y'all the step-by-step journey on how this all happened, right? And I want to make this video very relaxed because this is going to be very deep for me and for y'all. I know y'all going to connect to this as well. So, I got my Twizzlers. Shout out Team Twiz. I got my Twizzlers. And let's get this show on the road, shall we? All right. So my biggest fear was not being heard, not being understood, and being rejected. So that's all in one, right? That's a 3-in-1 special. 3-in-1. That's a hell of a deal, right? God damn. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be understood, and I did not want to be rejected. So, how did this come about? The accessibility, the openness that I had to communicate was to my Meemaw, like fully. It was my Meemaw, my Mimi at times, and my friends' parents. Yep, my friends' parents. I'm gonna say it again. My friends' parents. At the time when I was born to like 10 or 11, it was just my mom and I, like living together in New Orleans. It was just my mom and I would go to my Meemaw's house in the hood, and I'd be playing outside, and she'd pick me up, and we'd play games. We played a Wii. When the Xbox 360 came out, we was on that heavy, or I was on that mostly. And she was like my best friend, my Mimo. I could speak to her about anything, and she, to this day, she's so stoic, and she's so understanding, because and she always says this to this day. She says, I will always be your number one fan. I will always be your biggest fan. And me being more mature and older, or wiser, shall I say, not older, she is so appreciated, and she is so loved in all the right areas because of just what she gave me. The accessibility, the openness to be like, Mima, can I tell you something? Or like, I got something that happened today. Or my friend, someone, my friend, right? Fast forward, my brother has that very same connection to her, which is amazing. But and my mama, she is great. She is great. My mom and I, we had a, yes, she was my mama. She is my mama, and will always be my mama. But like we would be in the house throwing a football together, throwing a basketball together. I'd be, saying, like, trying to dunk on her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it be when you see like a wall or something. You tap the wall when you get your buddies up. You start dunking and shit. Like, we were very playful together. You know, but she was my mama. Like, boy, sit your ass down. Boy, we ain't getting that. You better put that back now. We getting this one. You put this $10. This one is $3. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, our quote unquote struggle meals. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. Man, I've always been a cool kid because I didn't want to cause any problems, any mishaps with the women in my life. You know what I'm saying? I went to go see my dad in New York every summer from when I was like 6. Yeah, like 6 to like 11, like 10 or something like that. And sometimes he would come down to New Orleans, and I love to see him and stuff like that. But you know, I couldn't speak how I really wanted, or I didn't want to overbear any added information of ideas to my mom or my dad. You get me? So fast forward. Because they were working so much, and I felt the pressure. I'm an empath. Always have been, always will be. You know, I'm an Aquarius, water bear, empath. I emotionally feel people before I see them. And so I felt the pressure of them a lot. So I didn't want to come to them with loads of laundry and loads of clothes and loads of homework and paper all the time. I didn't want to do that. You know, of course I was stubborn as a kid. You know, I was pretty stubborn. But I never wanted to upset them. I never wanted to be a burden, cause any chaos, added chaos with them. And so I went by my friend's house a lot. You know, sometimes I was there 4 days, 4 days a week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I come back home Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I have a drawer in my people's or in my friend's crib. You know, they come get me from school, bring me to, man, I done been someplace with these people, man. And I'd feel more open and accessible to speak to them about stuff. And that's why they liked me, because of how honest and open and eager to talk. You know what I'm saying? How eager to talk I was. I was so eager to talk. Cause then again, all I could speak to my Meemaw, and my Meemaw, you know, yeah, she was younger at the time, but that's my Meemaw, that's my grandma. So that space of age and like maturity, if you will, was, you know, night and day. Rightfully so. It's my Meemaw. Anyway, so that's where the rejection. I didn't want to be rejected because I knew that they were working so much, and I didn't want to overstep. And fast forward, I know it's very odd. It's very interesting to feel as a kid, man. And I'm this is no hit to my parents, my mom and my dad. I love them like no tomorrow. I love them so freaking much because, you know, they help me in other ways. Like, you know, now me being a young slash grown man, this is things that I have to manage. They are helping me in another area, and I'm taking all of this. I'm taking all of this because it's mine, right? They have done the best they could with Jaden. Like adolescent Jaden, they did the best. The best. We done made, I got so many great memories, more than bad. I swear I do. So they helped me and provided so much opportunity for me and so much leadway to see things, to experience things, to eat things, to travel places. They didn't open that for me. They didn't open it all the way since a kid. Since a kid. So now that, you know, these things I've dealt with and managed, and there's going to be something else that comes up along the way that I'll be ready for. So therefore, this is what I had to handle and what I had to manage, right? So I wanted to be understood. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be heard, and I did not want to be rejected. So how did I get through those feelings? High school. That goes into people pleasing, doing things for other people because you just want to see them with a positive emotion. And it doesn't really matter how much it takes out of me. I just want to see you with what you want. And that's a great quality to an extent. That's a phenomenal, endearing quality to an extent. When it becomes too much, when it becomes extreme, you got to dial back. Then it can become cancerous. Then it can become a disease like clout. Okay? Too much clout is too much. Your pupils will be dilated. Your brain will just be too much. But we all would like attention. Anyway, I'm digressing. So, in high school, rejection with girls, friends, wanting to tell them, wanting to have close connections with them so that I can be heard. I can be understood. Now, to this day, I have brothers who understand me like a mother. That's because I had to relinquish that philosophy. And guess what? The brothers that I have, I didn't even know in high school. I didn't even know them. I didn't even know them. I got connected to them from one person I went up to. I connected with in high school. My sophomore year. Sophomore year in high school. I did that. So, what did I do? I started going to the mall a lot more by myself. Take an Uber. Sometimes I would take my headphones, my earpods. Sometimes I would leave my earpods at home. I'd have to bring my phone, obviously, because I wasn't driving. But I take an Uber to the mall and I just go up to people. Just start talking. Just start talking. Girls, anybody, about anything. I'm 16. 16. I'm 15, 17. Going up to anybody. Just talking. What did that do for me? No agenda. Just speak. If you feel it, if you want to compliment somebody, it ain't weird. If you think she's cute, tell her. If you like what you see, you like how y'all flowing, say, hey, let me get your number. If you don't, let me get your Instagram. You know, at the time, you know, Snapchat and shit. You know, let me get your Snapchat. Damn, that's so corny. Snapchat. Ugh. I mean, hey, teach his own, right? I was, you know, hey, whatever. Snapchat was that shit. It was. Snapchat was that shit. But let's get a streak. Let's get a streak. If you think she cute, say something. If you like what she got on, you like how she, whatever, say something. Because what did this train me to do? What I see, what I like, I attract and I get. If they say no, if they reject me, that has nothing to do with me. Basketball player, training. If I shoot 10 shots from the same spot, catch and shoot in the corner, I go 6 for 10. But the sake of the drill, you gotta shoot 8 out of 10 to move to the wing, to the next spot. Did I do bad shooting 6 for 10? No. I just missed the mark a little bit. So what do? I lock my shoulders a little bit more and follow all the way through. I follow all the way through. I drop my hips and I shoot a jump shot. That was one of my issues too. I wouldn't like really jump. Like jump. Like my dad used to say, jump. Like get off the ground. Jump. Jump. So some things I would have to go back to the drawing board. And yes, I'd have to fix. I'd have to fix my follow through, my release, my hand placement. Sometimes my hand will be too much under the ball. Too much. My offhand will be too much. So it would affect my shot. To go too far to the left or too far to the right. My focus is off. I'm not looking at the back of the rim. You know, same with talking to people. If I go into the game, if I go into the mall thinking, oh my God, I just don't want to get rejected. Trust and believe you will get rejected over and over and over again. And then you will think that it's the brain. The brain is such a beautiful muscle. Then you will think that when you make a shot, when you cash out, when you get the number, when you get the Instagram, it was luck. Ain't that some the reverse happens. Wow. And that's a prophecy I just like said right here with y'all. You think that making it is luck. Not the other way around. I done dribble the ball. I can dribble the ball with my eyes closed. I can walk with it, dog walk behind the back, between the legs, double move, 2 balls, with a tennis ball, with a paper, with a plastic bag tied around the basketball, 2 hands, windshield wipers, dog walk, pocket, behind the back. Doesn't matter. Because I dribbled the ball so many times. And if you, as a defender, well, you're not going to take the ball from me. But if I turn the ball over, you got lucky. Not, you know what I'm saying? Because I done did it. I done so many times. Like, kudos, but your defense was not why I missed the shot. AKA, your rejection is not why I am who I am, or I'm not who I think I am. So just because you said no does not mean I'm still not a yes. One person said no. You missed 1 shot. You turn the ball over 1 time. Get it back. Get it back on defense. Get it back on defense. Make a play on defense. Make a play. Make it. Make it. That's what helped me. That's what helped me. By myself. It did wonders to me. It did wonders. And then when I graduated, I mean, y'all, I got multiple videos on it, but semen retention, I stopped watching porn. I stopped watching porn when I was 18. Stop that shit. And then that just, then I'm going to the mall with semen retention and not watching that. And I'm, what? Oh my gosh. They was coming to me. They was walking up to me. So, you got to get out your comfort zone. Yes, you feel that feeling of rejection. Yes, you feel uneasy about approaching somebody. But you have to ask yourself, you feel comfortable going up to a dude, or a dude coming up to you and just striking conversation, because it's nothing, right? It's shout out, this is no disrespect to nobody and no community, but if you are heterosexual, then you see another dude as like a homeboy, a partner. If you're homosexual, then it's obviously different. But the same way you would talk to a dude, one of your partners, is not the same way you should talk to a woman, especially one that you like, you're interested in, you think is attractive. But at the same time, they're both people. They're both people. They got socks that are dingy. They got shirts that stink. They just wash their laundry. They got a crack on their phone. They ain't get a haircut in 3 weeks. They just had a Subway sandwich that had onions on it, banana peppers, so their breath a little hot. I mean, that's the part of being a damn human. Which is also to say, I stopped taking things so serious. That was also one of my big things. I stopped taking things so serious. I dropped my shoulders, like basketball. I dropped my shoulders, breathed through my damn diaphragm, and just started being. I didn't start thinking about what to say. I didn't start scripting what to say, pick up lines, and no. I was never that type to begin with, so why are you going to start now? Why am I going to start doing that shit now? Why am I going to start now? So, man, some of the best shit I did was step out my comfort zone, talk to people at the mall. Sometimes I would skip school and hit the streetcar and go downtown New Orleans and just talk to strangers, talk to homeless people. Or shit, I just be with my partners and we'd skip school or not go to school, and we'd go to the movies, go to the mall, go to the park, go somewhere and just talk to people. That's what we do. You know how much insight I got from just asking, just being? Not thinking about, oh, this person probably, or maybe I said, oh, she too bad, she too cute. And I never thought no chick was bad. I don't subscribe to none of that. But she too attractive. She looked too good. She looked mean. All that preconceived blockages and it's all in you. It's all in you. And guess what? Over time, people are not stupid. Not all, right? Not all people is stupid. They sense someone who's timid. They sense someone who is scared. And a wise man once told me, if you get in that game and you play like you scared, you play like you hurt, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. A little bit with your ankle, a little bit with your elbow. You play like you're going to get hurt even more. So you might as well sit down. Sit down, recalibrate, or watch from the side. Be a good teammate from the bleachers, from the bench. Word up. So that's how it happened. That's how it all happened. And then life just started to open up too. The women, the confidence, the places, the connections, the people. Boy. Because I already never cared who I was around. White, black, Mexican, Hispanic, Latina, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Honduran. I never cared. I never cared. Because I'm always going to bring me. I'm always going to be who I am. I'm always going to bring myself to the equation. Bring myself to the forefront. Not no cap artist. Not no manipulator. Not no cheater. Me. Authentically. Me. So, I hope this helped. I hope this helped you somewhere out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? Step outside your comfort zone. Step outside your box. All it takes is one subtle movement elsewhere that you haven't been taking. You know, you used to walking right. 10, HUD, 10. You used to walk in that path. You used to walk in that. How about you go left today? Or how about you make a twirl and then you go diagonally left or diagonally right even. You know what I'm saying? Change it up. All it takes is one different subtle movement to change your life and to change your trajectory.